This video is brought to you by Miniature Market. Thousands of board games, discounted prices, miniaturemarket.com.
Hello my friends, it's the Game Boy Geek here. Today we're going to be trying to catch thieves because they're running around town, stealing money from the bank, causing all sorts of havoc in different places, and we're trying to be the best investigator at the table, trying to catch as many as we can and get the most money to win. Today we're going to be looking at Stop Thief. This is a game from Restoration Games. Now this game originally came out in 1979 and has been completely redone in every way possible by Restoration Games. So let me show you how it's played and then I'll see you on the other side. There are 6 different investigators you can possibly be in the game. Here's 3 of them. We have Drake, John, and Tad. Here they're all separated by their ID card, their movement cards, and their meeple with the same color. The other possible investigators are Sandra, Pepper, and Vivian. Each of the characters are quite different. Their cards will have them move and have different special abilities. For example, Tad, on 2 different cards, can move all the way up to 12 spaces, where Vivian has 2 cards where she can go through windows. All the starting players will place their meeples on the 500 center spot on the board. This is a subway denoted by the circle around the 500. You'll shuffle up the thief deck and turn over the top thief, and this is Eugene Ryder. So what this says is when he's captured, rewards 11,000 if you haven't caught a thief yet, otherwise the reward is 8,000. So in the first round of the game, no one's caught a thief yet, so it's worth 11,000 to everybody. You'll download the Restoration Games app from the Apple's App Store, Google Play, or Amazon. Once you've downloaded it, just launch it and you'll select Stop Thief to choose the game. At the top, you'll select New Game. And then you'll select Stop Thief. It also tells you who is first. This is random every time. First player is the one with the shortest name. It also has game difficulty. The standard game shows you that the thief will always go through doors and windows, will never ride the subway, and will never stay in the same place. But if you change into different levels, it will tell you how the thief acts differently. But let's select the standard and we'll say Start Game. So first we'll see that there has been a crime committed at the US Trust Bank. The object of the game is to get a certain amount of money by catching thieves, depending on the number of players as shown here above. And you'll be catching these thieves in one of the 4 main areas of the board shown in the different quadrants of the board. The ad told us that the thief struck at the Trust US Bank, of course, which is right here, and they always strike at one of these red crime scene markers. So we know that the thief has started in one of those spots. Now each turn goes through 3 different phases. The first one is Get a Clue. So the first player is going to click Get a Clue. It's the big red one on the bottom. So there you have gotten an audible and a visual clue. If you want to see it again, you click Replay Clue. And that was a door opening. Now we just heard a door and we know that the thief started on a crime scene spot. Now the thief always moves from numbers to numbers. They never move on these spots in the middle. That's where the investigators move. The investigators will be moving on these different spots, including the numbered spots. The thief moves just on the numbered spots in the game. Now in this case, we heard a door. So he could have started here and he might be right here. Or he could have started here and been on one of these 2 doors. Or it could be here and now in this door. There's many different ways that they could have gone. So that's all we know at this point. After receiving a clue, that player will play a card. These are all the cards that they start with. Let's say they're all in Vivian's hand. She'll select one of these. Let's say she selects the number 11. She will place this face up. All these would be in their hand, and we're going to go up to 11 spaces. Now since the investigators move on every spot, including unnumbered and numbered, they follow the footpaths. They do not have to go in the direction that the footpaths lead. They could go either direction as long as they stay on a footpath. They start in the subway, which is denoted by this little circle. They can go to another subway. Those are located at the different corners of the board. But if they do use the subway, go there, they must end their movement. However, if they have special actions on their card that allow them to continue the move, they can do that. We'll go over some of those later. Now, normally, the investigators cannot move through windows unless they have a special card that says they can. So she's going to go 11. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11. I am adjacent to this door. If you're adjacent or on top of something like a door or a spot, you can then try to catch the criminal. So optionally, you don't have to, we could try to make an arrest. And Vivian's gonna try to do that. They'll click make an arrest. They'll type in the number. The door that she thinks he's at is 444. So we'll go in here, we'll type it in, we'll confirm, and they're dispatching officers. Well, I didn't catch the thief, so I have to pay $1,000 to the bank. And then the turn's over and you'd hand the device to the next player, they'd hit continue, and then they would get a clue. So there we had footsteps. So they went from a crime scene to a door to footsteps. Now Tad's turn, and he's going to play a card. He's going to move up to 8. So Tad's going to go 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and stay right there. Try to arrest at 423 because it could have went crime scene, door, and then footsteps. All right, so click make arrest. There you go, 423. We'll see. Nope, wrong. We paid $1,000 to the bank. Go to the next player. We get a clue. It said add $1,000 to the reward because he's at another crime scene. It will have us put another $1,000 on the thief. Pepper's going to play a card that lets her move up to 10. So maybe Pepper goes 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. It ends up right there, but does not want to guess. It's back to Vivian again. She gets a clue. And we have another door. Now there's a couple of spots the thief could be. Vivian thinks the thief might be right next to her. She played her 11 card last round, and now she's going to play her 3 card, which is before moving, get a private tip. So she'll click get a private tip, only she will be able to see this. Yes, get a private tip. And when you're done, you can tap here so others don't see 444. Now this is perfect for her because she thought that he might be there, and he is. So she's going to use her 3 just to kind of move right there. And now she's going to arrest him at 444. All right, collect the reward. So she would collect the money. We have $11,000 because it was the first thief she had caught, plus the extra $1,000 that was on Eugene because he went back to another crime scene. To start a new round, you discard the thief and get a new one from the deck. And the next thief is Elliot. If you catch Elliot, you get to take the first turn after the thief after this strikes, and you'd get $7,000. And before moving on, you can watch the replay by pressing watch replay at the top there. Pretty cool. And once you've gotten out of that and you go to the next round, you'll see where the next thief hits. Sometimes it's the same building. In this case, it's the Museum of Modern Antiquity. And then you would just start over again. The next player in turn order would be able to go in this case. And this continues until someone has collected the thief and has enough to win. And then they press yes at the bottom, saying they have enough. There you have it. You've won. There's also other ways to play the game. You can click New Game, go Other Ways to Play, and you can see Retro. This actually will allow you to play the game as if you're playing the original board from the 1979 version of Stop Thief. Now you've seen movement cards being played and they stay face up, all the other cards in your hand, so how do you get your cards back? Well, everybody has a card, usually it's their lowest number. They're going to have one that says, at the end of your turn, pick up all your movement cards. So you'll still get to move up to 2, and then you'll get to pick these up into your hand. And here are some of the special movement cards from some of the other investigators. From left to right, during your move, the first 3 spaces outside are free. During your move, you can move onto or through windows. Before moving, take $1,000 from another investigator. And before moving, you may also move the investigator another 4 spaces. All right, well, there's Stop Thief. Now, I have to admit to you, I had never played this through my youth. I only started playing it a few weeks ago outside of Origins. Now, I have played some of those other older games that many people want restoration games to do, like Dark Tower and Fireball Island. I loved those as a kid, but this one I actually had never played, so I was excited to get a chance to do so at Origins. Now, in restoration games in general, I love the idea of what they're doing and what they're about. You know, even their tagline, "Every game deserves another turn," is like the coolest thing ever, and I just love what they're doing. So I was super excited about this. When I saw the Kickstarter come up, I was like, oh man, this is such a really cool idea. So first of all, I love the idea of this. This is a great production. Everything looks awesome. I mean, the board looks awesome. The box looks awesome. They used a lot of UV coating that makes it look nice and shiny and things like that. The box is sturdy. The cards are good quality. So even though this is their first published game, the people behind this company know what they're doing. They've been doing stuff around the game industry for many years. So this is a great production. I'm glad to see that. Now, this is a fun family deduction game. And by that, I mean, it's pretty light. I mean, it's very light actually, where you don't even really need to take notes too much if you don't want to, because it is pretty simple deduction. So you're just moving around, it is light. So you want to go into this knowing that it is a lighter family level deduction game. Lasts 30 to 45 minutes, but it does, if you played Clue with your kids, growing up, or even you growing up with other kids, it has that similar feel of trying to figure it out, but you don't have all the paperwork that is intimidating to get others to play, and that app really brings things in, which brings me to the next thing. So I like how they have the different levels of difficulty. So you can have standard or expert, advanced, intermediate, and basically the thief will do different things depending on what level, and I like that because you could play the standard level with kids and with people that have never played it before, but you really could ratchet it up and make the deduction a little bit tougher, a little bit harder to get things as the difficulty scales. The app is awesome. I love this because for many reasons. Now, I know a lot of people don't like having apps in games, but this is the perfect use and the reason why people should be using apps. They took all of the craziness from the original version and put it all in the app in an intelligent way, allowing it to scale difficulties, allowing it to, to figure out where it's at, giving you cool visual and audio clues as to where things are. And I just think that's a great idea. And it's amazing that they figured out and coded in and took the time to pay homage to the game by allowing the people who have the original 1979 version but a lot of people that have that, for some reason it's broken or it's not working. And now you can play the old version because they've changed the board, they've changed a lot to make this game more modern, but you can play the original version with this app, which I think is an absolutely awesome thing to do for the board game community. So overall, I really like the game. Now, I typically do like deduction games. Those are my favorite genre of games. Now, this is very light for me. I tend to like the heavier deduction games, but I liked it. But let's see, is there anything I didn't like about it or anything I think could be improved? Well, there is a lot of luck involved. You could be one place and the thief hits and someone catches them, and then you just happen to be in the right area for the next thief. So there is some luck involved for sure. If you're looking for a pure deduction game, this is not going to be it. If you're looking for a family fun game that you're going to have some deduction, have some fun, but realize that maybe the best person at deduction might not win the game, if you go into it with those expectations, I think you'll be fine. One thing that I really wish this had was a way that the app would generate, as the clues are being given for a specific thief, to keep track of those clues in order, and just after it's done, it will just put an icon sort of at the top or at the bottom, keeping track of the order of the clues. Because otherwise it does become a little bit of a memory game, sometimes you can get distracted with things at the table, or kids running around and this and that, and you come back and you've got to remember it. So you either have to write it down, or if there was a way that the app just showed that, so you can say, oh wow, it went from crime scene to door to outside to door to window to crime scene. You don't have to remember all that. I would have liked the way to be able to track that. Tokens would have been fine, but since the game's out already, having it in the app is probably an easy way to rectify that, and it would allow people to not have to use the memory element. Now, I don't think that's supposed to be part of the quote-unquote game, is a memory element, so I'd rather just have that open information so people just have to figure out where to go. But that's just me. Somebody might hate that, but I don't really want to write things down in this light of a game, and I wish they would have had that taken care of in the app. Maybe they could still do it. But otherwise, that's really nitpicking here. I did really enjoy the game. I'm really looking forward to what they're doing in the next coming games as well, and that is Stop Thief. And because I love deduction games, and this was great, I'm going to induct it properly in my gaming library with a saxophone serenade.
The This video was sponsored by Miniature Market's Review Corner. The Review Corner features podcasts, video, and written game reviews by gamers for gamers. Miniature Market, the online gaming superstore. Thousands of board games, discounted prices. Check them out at miniaturemarket.com.